This is my 4th grade picture. I was one of 2 black kids in the entire school. Wow. A little girl in 2nd grade and myself in 4th grade. See if you can find me. Okay. I didn't say laugh at me, I just said see if you can find me. All right. So,
you're so cute.
I had an incident back then where I was marching in a parade with some of my classmates and Cub Scouts, and some people threw rocks and bottles at me because I was the only black person in the parade, and I did not understand it. I did not understand racism and why somebody who did not know me, never seen me before, would want to hurt me for no other reason than the color of my skin. So it became a mission of mine to find out why and educate people. Let them know, we all are human beings. We all bleed the same way. Everybody in here, all of your DNA and my DNA is 99.9% the same.
Yep.
Yeah? And that's why we need to learn the truth. So I set out to meet some of the most hateful people I could find and sit down and have heart-to-heart talks with them. So, and I will show you some of this stuff. Now, after I graduated college with my degree in music, I began playing full-time in 1980. And I played in a bar in a town called Frederick, Maryland. The bar was called the Silver Dollar Lounge. It was an all-white bar. Blacks were not welcome. There were no signs, but we were not welcome. And I was playing in an all-white band, and they had played there before. Here I am in the Silver Dollar Lounge, right? And on the break, after the first set, a guy came up to me and put his arm around my shoulder and praised my piano playing, saying, this was the first time he ever heard a black man play piano like Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, this guy was a lot older than me, and I was not offended, but I was surprised that he didn't know the black origin of Jerry Lee's style. That's why it's so important to give credit where credit is due and educate one another, all right? So I proceeded to tell him that Jerry Lee got it from the same place I did, from black blues and boogie-woogie piano players. Well, he was incredible. No, I ain't never seen no black man play like that, except for you. Something about the guy that doesn't get out much, right? So I said, look, man, I know Jerry Lee Lewis. He's a very good friend of mine. He told me himself. He didn't believe that either. Well, I didn't carry pictures of me and Jerry Lee around in my pocket, to show him, but I'll show you. Here's an early picture of myself and Jerry Lee. And here's a later picture of myself and Billy Joel and Jerry Lee. So I didn't have those to show him, but he was fascinated with me and wanted to buy me a drink. I don't drink alcohol, never did, but I went back to his table and had a cranberry juice. And he then told me that this was the first time he'd ever sat down with a black man and had a drink. And I asked him why. And first he didn't answer me. Long story short, he told me he was a member of the Klu Klux Klan. And I started laughing at him. And because I didn't believe him. Like he didn't believe me earlier, right? And he pulled out his wallet and handed me his Klan membership card.
Wow.
I recognized the red circle, white cross, and blood drop in the center. Whoa, this thing is for real. I stopped laughing. It wasn't funny anymore. And I gave it back to him. And we talked about the Klans and different things, but he was very friendly. And he gave me his number, wanted me to call him whenever I was to return to this bar. I called him. He bring Klansmen and Klanswomen to see, as he put it, the black guy who plays like Jerry Lee. I'm not sure he called me the black guy to his friends, but that's how he explained it to me. So in any event, I would see him, every 6 weeks or so, and talk with him. And then it dawned on me, you know what? I should go around the country and interview KKK people, sit them down, talk with them if they were willing to talk to me, and write a book, because no book had been written by a black author on the Klan, from face-to-face, in-person interviews. So that's exactly what I did. And I would go to Klan rallies, talk to people there if they would talk to me. Now, of course, we had some fights, some physical confrontations. Fortunately, I won. I beat them on the street, then took them to court and beat them there too. And but those are few and far between, but that goes with the territory. All right, so here is a Klan rally 31 years ago now, in Maryland. You see the fire on the cross is going out. I asked a Klansman to pose for a picture with me, which he did. Here's another one from 9 years ago in Missouri. And there are some Klansmen there. There are lots more Klansmen and Klanswomen. When the rally is over, they go to a picnic tables on the side, and have beverages and hot dogs, hamburgers. You always leave Klan people around the cross because it's going to fall over and sparks will go flying. So they're there to extinguish it, make sure nothing catches on fire. What do I do with these things? I talk to people. I'm a firm believer that a missed opportunity for dialogue is a missed opportunity for conflict resolution. Nothing gets resolved without talking about it. And here I'm going to show you, CNN did a story on me a while back. They wanted to go to a Klan rally and film me at a Klan rally. So you're going to hear this Imperial Wizard, which means national leader. They came to the rally, I talked with him, I invited him back to my house to interview with CNN. He came to my house, he talked to CNN. You're going to hear him say that even though he and I would do different things together, it did not change his views on the Klan, because his views on the Klan had been cemented in his mind for years. He goes on to say how he believes in separation of the races, because he finds that to be in the best interest of all races. But listen to what he says about respect towards the end. I have played in all 50 states. I've been to 63 countries on 6 continents. So I've been exposed to a wide variety of people, cultures, religions, ethnicities, etc. And all that travel does not make me a better human being than someone with less travel. But what it does is it gives me a better and broader perspective on humanity than people who've not been exposed to other people around the world, or even around their own country for that matter. So what I've learned is this: every human being wants these 5 core values in their lives. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be respected. Everyone wants to be heard. We all want to be treated fairly and truthfully. We all want the same things for our family as anybody else would want for their family. And if we can learn to apply those 5 core values when we find ourselves in an adversarial situation, it doesn't have to be about race. It could be about politics, abortion, nuclear weapons, global warming, whatever, the war overseas, whatever. If you apply those 5 core values, or any of those 5 values I just gave you, you will find that situation, that culture, that society, much easier to navigate, much more positive and much more productive. So let's listen to this. This is CNN.
Welcome to this final hour of CNN Sunday Morning. I'm Bob Kane, and today for Miles O'Brien.
Good morning to you all. I'm Joey Shudd.
Friendship can transcend all kinds of boundaries.
Just look at us. And 2 men in the Washington area are showing that even an African-American man and a member of the Klu Klux Klan can find common ground. CNN's Carl Rochelle reports.
Davis is one of the few African Americans you will ever find attending a KKK rally. More than attending, he is welcome.
I got more respect for that black man than I do you white niggers out there.
It's been a tough day for the Klan. Their Maryland rally found many local residents rejecting the message of white separatism. After it's over, Daryl Davis hangs around backstage with his friend, Klan Wizard Roger Kelly. It's not unusual for blacks and whites to be friends, but it is unusual to find a black man and a Klan leader chatting pleasantly over an orange soda after a Klan rally. The relationship started over a book Davis was writing. His secretary set up an interview with Roger Kelly, but didn't tell him Davis was black. They talked and talked some more. Davis learning about the Klan, Kelly learning about Davis.
We get to know one another, we do different things, it hasn't changed my views about the Klan, because my views on the Klan has been pretty much cemented in my mind for years. I believe in separation of the races. I believe that's in the best interest of all races.
Does he really? Or has friendship transcended the color barrier? Listen to Kelly at a Klan rally.
I'm a color up in the hillback, because I believe in what he stands for and he believes in what I stand for. A lot of times we don't agree with everything, but at least he respects me to sit down and listen to me. And I respect him to sit down and listen to him.
The strange relationship of a KKK wizard and his black buddy. In Washington, I'm Carl Rochelle, CNN Sunday Morning.
Strange. Good adjective. Strange.
Certainly that.
Okay. Now, you heard Mr. Kelly say, the Imperial Wizard say that even though we did different things together, it did not change his views on the Klan, because his views on the Klan had been cemented in his mind for years. And how he believes in separation of the races, because he finds that to be in the best interest of both races. But at the end of that clip, you heard him say that he respected me. What's that all about? I'm a black guy. He's in the Klan. He respects me. He, in that one sentence, he said, we may not agree on everything, but at least he respects me to sit down and listen to me, and I respect him to sit down and listen to him. Those are his words. In that one sentence, he named 3 of those 5 core values I just gave you. I just told you, everybody wants to be loved, respected, heard, treated fairly, the same things for their family as you want for yours. He said, I respected him. That's 1. He said, I sat down and listened to him. That's 2. I allowed him to be heard. He said that he respected me and sat down and listened to me. That's fairness. You can treat each other fairly. Right? As a result of my employing those 5 core values, every time I would meet with these people, I'm just going to give you an example of Roger Kelly today, we're running out of time. I would employ those 5 core values. Over time, that cement that held his ideas together began to crack, and then it crumbled and fell apart. And then Roger Kelly quit the Klu Klux Klan and renounced it and shut his chapters down because he no longer believes in what he said in the video. When he left the Klan, he gave me his robe and hood.
Wow.
This is the same robe you saw me wearing in that video clip. And there's a symbol all Klan groups use, the red circle, white cross, and blood drop. And of course, here we have the hood and the mask. Members who want anonymity, they wear this mask, just attached by 3 snaps and or Velcro. If they don't care that you know their identity, they simply detach the mask and the face is exposed under the hood. And you saw both types in that video clip. That, folks, is the power of conversation. That is the power of dealing with the truth and not banning it. That's the power of giving credit where credit is due. Having these conversations can change people, and that's what I do. All right. Now back to these rock and roll people. You know, we celebrate a lot of the great black and white civil rights icons, like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and many others. James Farmer, many others. But these rock and roll people have gone undercredited. Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry. Because while these other ones I just mentioned were having marches, demonstrations, protests in order to bring white adults and black adults together, these rock and roll musicians were bringing white youth and black youth together through their music that was born out of the blues. Right? You all remember, how many of y'all saw Back to the Future?
Yep.
Remember that scene with Michael J. Fox playing Johnny B. Good?
Yep.
Let's see.
Jump, it's Marvin, your cousin Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
Okay, I'm going to show you the real deal. I played with Chuck Berry for 32 years, not every gig, but many gigs over that 32-year span. And here's an early clip, I think from 1981 or so, when I was slim and trim with hair on my head. Okay? If you listen to him playing Johnny B. Good, listen to what he says. He says, "Go, Daryl, go," instead of Johnny. I have to save that clip.
In the beginning, there was Chuck Berry. In the beginning of rock and roll, that is. The legend of rockin' and rollin' was in town tonight doing his thing at Harbor Lights. And Denise Cope, the world's oldest living teeny bopper, was just down there.
I must be, because he still does come to me. I tell you. Well, he was there when rock and roll was born in 1955, and every rock musician since then has had Chuck Berry to thank. You know, Maybelline, Roll Over Beethoven, Sweet Little 16, and Johnny B. Good. Now, 1,700 Chuck Berry fans were in rock and roll heaven tonight, and they come in all sizes, all ages.
For 25 years or more, I've loved the man. Old guy like him, getting down.
Remember the duck block?
I love Chuck Berry, I like to play, and I had to bring my pot down here tonight.
seated company. Tonight they were local musicians jamming with the king.
I hope they'll live and then I'll imitate his live.
And do things that you don't plan.
Right, all spontaneous, that's rock and roll live.
God loves Chuck Berry because if it wasn't for him, there would be rock and roll today.
He said it.
Okay, so you know, Chuck rarely gave interviews, so the reporter wanted to interview him. He said, no, Daryl, you go talk to them. All right, so real quick, just got a couple more things here real quick. So that's, you know, playing music has exposed me to a lot of different people, great people all around, and I get to meet people with whom I disagree from time to time. And we have these conversations. So let me show you something here, how this works. I'm Daryl Davis. For the last 4 decades, I've dedicated my life to dealing with people like this.
Cultural invasion from Mexico, every other third world cesspool that's coming here to try to overrun our borders. This is our brothers. It's right here. Little Mexican, Aaron, Johnson.
Who was that guy? That was Jeff Scoop, the commander of the NSM, the National Socialist Movement, which was the largest neo-Nazi organization in the United States that he led for 25 years. I interviewed Mr. Scoop in 2016, and he told me with no uncertainty and with racist and anti-Semitic venom in his voice.
We would fight to the last bullet for our people.
While it is important to know who he was, it is more important to know who he is today. For the last half a decade, Jeff Scoop has gone from radicalization to reconciliation, from fighting to the last bullet for his people, to fighting for the rights of all people. Today, he is a world-class educator, training and assisting law enforcement agencies and other groups, both domestically and internationally, on how to combat counter-extremism. He has successfully de-radicalized others from the ideology of white supremacy and works actively to prevent young people from going down that road and joining those movements. From radicalization to redemption, Jeff has made it his mission to meet with the very people he once diametrically opposed with his racist and anti-Semitic views. When Jeff is not doing good deeds and lecturing on his own, I am proud to travel around the country and share my lecture stage with him. He educates the audience on the triggers which led him to join an extremist movement. He also shares the manipulations and tactics he learned and used to keep people in that ideology and to recruit more members. Equally important, he informs people about what led him to leave the movement and renounce the supremacist ideology that poisoned and imprisoned him for 3 decades. The take-home, audiences become better informed and learn how they too can help make this a less divisive, more kind and accepting society. From standing at opposite ends of the ideological spectrum to coming together and sitting down at Martin Luther King Jr.'s proverbial table of brotherhood. Who is Jeff Scoop today? He's not just my friend, he is my brother. Okay, so I helped get, thank you. I helped get Jeff out of that movement. I helped get him out of the neo-Nazi movement. And you know, you saw him holding up a noose. Make no mistake about it. He wasn't just holding up a piece of rope. Okay, he was holding up a noose. So let's tell the truth here. I've been around enough neo-Nazis and KKK people to know a piece of rope from a noose. And so have you. This is a Nazi salute. Okay? It is not a Klan salute. A Klan salute is this, okay, with the left hand and 3 fingers. KKK, 3 fingers, right? Nazi salute is with the right hand, okay? So, if this is not a Nazi salute, what Jeff Scoop was holding up was not a noose, just a piece of rope, right? So that's why it's important that I do this work. That's why it's important that we all learn the truth, not omit, erase, deny, and revise history. All right? So I'm going to close it out right here with one more little short clip. One of the greatest musicians who's a hero of mine, he's very undercredited, is the great Paul Schaefer. You know, y'all probably know him from David Letterman, Late Night with David Letterman. The man is a wonderful musician. And Chuck Berry was on Late Night with Letterman one time, and I called Chuck and said, hey man, I'm gonna come up there and hang out with you. He goes, okay. You know, I had no intentions of playing whatsoever, I just want to come up there and hang out. So I got there, and I got there early, and I was on the guest list, so I go to Chuck's dressing room, and he finally comes in, and we're just hanging out, you know, talking, and producer comes in and says, oh, hi, Mr. Daryl, welcome back, blah, 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 that little clip chart. And she says, okay, I have you slated to do Roll Over Beethoven on segment number, whatever it was, of the show. And Chuck says, oh, you know, I think I'm going to do Let It Rock. And she starts flipping pages. Well, it says right here, you to do Roll Over Beethoven. He said, like I said, I'm going to do Let It Rock. And so now she's all nervous, goes, well, Mr. Schaefer is downstairs right now rehearsing the band on Roll Over Beethoven. You know, do you want to go down? And Chuck said, this is Daryl Davis. He's my piano player. And she, I have Mr. Schaefer here. And this is Daryl Davis. Daryl, give me your social security number so you can get paid. So, she takes it down, and he tells me to go downstairs and rehearse with Paul how Let It Rock goes. So I went downstairs, I rehearsed the band, and then Paul is the nicest guy in the world. He says, you know, I got 3 keyboards here, you know, any one you want, you can play. And so I picked one. He says, is it okay you think if I play working? I said, sure, of course. So I rehearsed one of the song. He asked me to stay up and play during the commercial breaks as well. So which was really, really nice of him. And Chuck came downstairs, you know, when it was time, and he played Let It Rock. And then, you know, when the show goes to commercial, the band entertains, you know, the studio audience. So David comes over, David Evans comes over and says, Chuck, would you mind playing Roll Over Beethoven for the audience? So we played Roll Over Beethoven. So here's a little piece of what you saw on TV if you watched the show that evening.
Our next guest is not only one of the true pioneers of rock and roll music, he's also a proud citizen of St. Louis. Please welcome the legend himself, Chuck Berry. Thank you very much. We're glad to be here.
Okay, the great Chuck Berry. And we have him and a lot of those early rock and roll pioneers to thank for allowing us all to sit together today. And you know, Chuck put out a song called School Days. I'll give you the lyrics real quick. The last verse of that song, the lyrics have nothing to do with school. They're kind of odd, just kind of stuck in there for some reason. The words are up in the morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and practical math. You study them hard, hoping to pass. Working your fingers right down to the bone, and the guy behind you won't leave you alone. Ring, ring goes the bell. The cook in the lunchroom's ready to sell. You're lucky if you can find a seat. Fortunate if you have time to eat. Back in the classroom, open your books. Even the teacher don't know how mean she looks. As soon as 3 o'clock rolls around, you finally lay your burden down. Close up your books, get out of your seat, down the hall and into the street, up to the corner and around the bend, right to the juke joint you go in. Drop the coin right into the slot. You gotta hear something that's really hot. With the one you love, you're making romance. All day long you've been wanting to dance. And then the last verse goes, hail, hail, rock and roll. Deliver me from the days of old. Long live rock and roll. The beat of the drums, loud and bold. Rock, rock, rock and roll. The feeling is there, body and soul. So that verse just kind of falls into this song out of nowhere, nothing to do with school or whatever. And I kept thinking about it. And it dawned on me, you know, some of his songs have messages in there. They're never very blatant. They're always kind of subtle. And this is one of those songs. So one night in the dressing room, I asked him about it. And I said, are you referring to integration? He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. He looked at me and smiled. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Deliver me from the days of old. Okay? Long live rock and roll. The beat of the drums, loud and bold. Whenever anything new is about to happen, you're a drum beat. Like, you know, somebody's getting ready to win, and the winner is drum roll, right? Drums announce something about to happen. And that was his way of saying, you know, it's going to be a new world now. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.